Alright, so the Galaxy S26 series is starting to come into focus, and leaks are dropping left and right. The newest hint? Not from Samsung, not from leakers on Twitter, but from something way more unexpected. A case seller's website. Yeah, those early listings usually spilled the beans, and this time, they might have given us a sneak peek at what all three S26 models are going to look like. Here's what caught my eye. The S26 Pro and Ultra are both rocking these chunky pill-shaped camera bumps, while the S26 Edge is showing off a massive rectangular block that covers a big part of the back. Honestly, it looks cleaner and sharper than last year, and it feels like Samsung is really doubling down on bold design choices again. Oh, and buried in those cases, hints of Qi 2 magnets. That's basically Samsung borrowing a page from Apple's MagSafe playbook, which could open the door to magnetic chargers and accessories for Galaxy users. About time, right? Now let's not pretend this is 100% confirmed. These case makers usually get their info from supply chain whispers and CAD renders. That means the broad strokes are almost always right, but the small details can be off. And yeah, some of these listings are already a little suspicious. Like the Pro's camera housing, looking almost identical to the Ultra, or those random placeholder wallpapers. But still, leaks like this usually paint a pretty solid picture. And that picture says one thing. The Galaxy S26 lineup is coming with some serious design changes. Launch is still months away, but if this is just the beginning, you can bet the leaks are only going to get juicier from here. Now let's switch gears to the Galaxy S26 Ultra, because this one's stirring up even more hype. People have been talking about its cameras, its new build, its features, but the real debate right now is charging speed. For years, Samsung fans have been stuck with that 45-watt cap, and let's be honest, it feels slow compared to what the competition is doing. But here's the twist. A trusted tipster is saying the Ultra might finally break through with 60-watt charging. Yeah, I know, the certification files only showed 45 watts, and that crushed a lot of hopes. But firmware hints in One UI, and now these new leaks are making it sound like Samsung's ready to speed things up. Some say the 45-watt certification was just Samsung testing with a lower-powered charger. Others think the Chinese version might stay capped, but the global model could actually get the upgrade. Bottom line, we don't know for sure yet, but if the Ultra does ship with 60-watt charging, it's going to make a huge difference. That means less time stuck to the wall, more time actually using the phone, and Samsung finally catching up to rivals who've been flexing crazy fast charging speeds for years. Samsung hasn't even finished rolling out the stable One UI 8 update to most phones, and we're already talking about One UI 8.5. And guess what? Thanks to a leaked build, we've got an early peek at what might be coming with the Galaxy S26 series straight out of the box. The most exciting part? It looks like Samsung's finally bringing that rumored privacy display to the Galaxy S26 Ultra. According to leaks, it's powered by something called Flex Magic Pixel technology. Basically, the display uses AI to control viewing angles, so only you can clearly see the screen while people sitting next to you just see a dim mess. No more shoulder surfers peeking at your messages on the train. The code even mentions two different modes. There's a maximum privacy mode that dims the screen for extra security, and then there are manual settings, which might let you customize how it works. Imagine setting it to kick in automatically for banking apps, messaging, or even on a schedule. Pretty cool, right? Now, Samsung hasn't actually confirmed any of this yet, and since the feature relies on Flex Magic Pixel tech, chances are it's going to be limited to newer phones, at least at first. Most likely the S26 Ultra gets it, but there's always a chance it spreads to the Pro or other models in the lineup. At the end of the day, this is just what we're seeing in the leaked build. More features could pop up before the official launch because remember, the Galaxy S26 series will be running One UI 8.5 right out of the box. So, what do you think about this privacy display? Would you actually use it? Or is it just another fancy feature that sounds cooler than it is? Rumor has it, Samsung might ditch the standard Galaxy S26 and S26 Plus and instead go with the Galaxy S26 Pro, S26 Edge, and S26 Ultra. The Pro model is said to bring the best of both the vanilla and Plus phones. On top of that, leaks suggest we're in for some pretty noticeable visual upgrades. A leaker going by That Dev on X got their hands on an internal build of One UI 8.5 and ran it on a Galaxy S21 Plus. First impressions? Samsung has seriously revamped the settings menu, added an iOS 26-style bottom search bar, and even a floating back button. Let's dive into what's new. Starting with the settings menu, it's way cleaner now. Subtitles are gone, so everything feels more compact, and submenus are tucked neatly inside each main menu item. The software update page has also been redesigned, featuring a big One UI 8.5 splash in the middle, a gradient background, and a pill-shaped check for updates button at the bottom. The phone app got a makeover too. The main buttons, keypad, recent, contacts, are now at the bottom in a pill-shaped area. Functionally, it's mostly the same, but there's a cool new feature called Direct Voicemail. Basically, if you can't pick up a call, the caller can leave a voicemail that you can check later. Galaxy Themes isn't left out either. The app now opens with a giant brush icon, and pill-shaped buttons make navigating cleaner and more organized. Even the Galaxy Studio app, Samsung's video editing tool, got a little refresh. The layout hasn't changed much, but the buttons are now neatly packed in a pill-shaped area at the bottom for a cleaner look. One of the standout upgrades is the AI-powered search bar in settings. It now floats above the system menu, making it easier to find what you need. The persistent search bar also sits at the bottom of the main page, which is why the old top search bar is gone. So what do you think about One UI 8.5? Do these tweaks make your Samsung experience better, or is it just a fresh coat of paint? Every big player, Samsung, Google, Apple, they're all pushing their displays to crazy new limits. Right now, Google's Pixel 10 Pro and 10 Pro XL are sitting on top with their ridiculously bright 3300 nit Super AXUA display. But Samsung might not be staying behind for long. According to a new report, the Galaxy S26 Ultra could ship with a brand new display that's not only thinner and lighter than what we saw on the S25 Ultra, but also brighter and more efficient. And the secret weapon here is something called M14 material paired with Samsung Display's COE technology. Now here's where it gets interesting. COE basically gets rid of the traditional polarizer layer inside the OLED panel. Normally that layer is great for cutting reflections, but the downside is it blocks some of the brightness and makes the screen thicker. By removing it, Samsung is able to improve light transmittance, boost brightness, make colors pop more, and even cut down on power consumption, all while slimming the display down. Pretty clever, but here's the catch. It looks like this fancy new tech might only make its way to the Ultra model. If that's true, the regular Galaxy S26 and S26 Edge will be stuck with the older M13 materials, which would leave them lagging behind Apple's iPhone 17 lineup and, of course, Google's Pixel 10 series. Both of those already push 3000 to 3300 nits of brightness, while the Galaxy S25 Ultra topped out at 2600. So yeah, Samsung needs this upgrade if it wants to stay competitive. What do you guys think? Will Samsung finally leapfrog Apple and Google in the brightness war? Or do you think Pixel will still hold the crown? Let me know in the comments, and of course, stick around, because we'll keep you updated on every leak and rumor about the S26 series. Until then, take care.